Hello to you and all the amazing TEFL teachers out there right now, teaching English abroad, traveling around the world, and making a positive impact, one student at a time and one classroom at a time. My name is Camden Long, and today we're out here on the beautiful rice farm in Thailand, country, village living at its best. It's truly a wonderful day to be alive. And yesterday, I was doing a TEFL consultation with a TEFL teacher in Guatemala, originally from the UK. And I was coaching him on how he can increase his bookings, have more students, and of course, be able to gain more financial revenue each month so he can continue to pursue his dreams. And today, I'm going to share with you exactly what I talked about in my consultation yesterday. So these are the 7 TEFL secrets that every OE teacher, online English teacher, needs to know right now today. So Camden, what is the first secret that every OET teacher needs to know? And the number one thing is you've got to have an open schedule. I cannot stress this enough because many teachers out there are looking to get more bookings, have more regular students, but you need to look at it from the parent's perspective. If there are 2 teachers and their classroom performance, their teaching skills, and their experience are both even, and one parent goes to their teacher's schedule and looks at their availability and, maybe 2 or 3 hours during the peak time, peak Beijing time, which is 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. Beijing time. And that teacher is only open a few hours and only during the peak time. Well, that might feel a little bit reassuring for that parent. But if they go to a different teacher, and that teacher is open morning, lunch, and evenings, as well as Saturday and Sunday, well, most likely that parent's going to feel that teacher is more trustworthy and more available to book lessons, not only for now, but in the future. And they will be able to recommend you to other friends of theirs and say, hey, look, this teacher is so available 7 days a week, all throughout the month, and it's been like that consistently for at least 1 year. Now, of course, if you have to travel or take some time off to go do something, then there's nothing wrong with that. But if you are out there looking to increase your financial income each month as an online English teacher, and you don't have your schedule open all morning, throughout the lunchtime, and in the evening peak hours, well, you're going to be missing opportunity. So you must have your schedule open all day, all night, consistently, every single day of the week, month after month. And then the parents will be like, wow, look at this teacher, so open, so available. This is someone who I can trust. This is someone who's serious about teaching and not just going 3 days and then taking 3 days off, or then taking 1 week on and then 5 days of vacation every month. It's okay to take a couple days off. There's nothing wrong with that. But again, if you are someone out there who wants to make more money as an online English teacher, then you've got to be available. Number 2, Camden, what is the second secret that every online English teacher needs to know right now? Number 2 is classroom performance. Classroom performance. So how are you performing in the class? When you are dealing with new students on a daily basis, or even if it's some of your regular students, the parent is only going to base you off of your last lesson with their child. So if your classroom performance was lacking, maybe your energy wasn't there, maybe your attention wasn't there, well, it's not going to be that great of a situation for you. Every time you get in front of that camera, you have got to be energetic, enthusiastic, and encouraging. Energetic, enthusiastic, and encouraging. So your classroom performance is the name of the game. The most important thing that you can do as an online English teacher is to be there for the student. And you have got to be able to perform at a high level. Because if you don't, again, even if your schedule is open, the parent or parents are going to think, well, their schedule's open a lot. They seem like a really nice teacher, but their performance was not so great. But another teacher out there who has their schedule open just like you, and their performance is on a higher level, on a higher standard, and a higher quality, well, of course, that parent is going to book lessons with the teacher who has more energy, is encouraging their child more, and is more enthusiastic about acquiring the English as a second language. Number 3, Camden. What is the third secret that every OET teacher needs to know right now? Number 3 is listen to the student attentively. A lot of times we're coming into the classroom with our own pre-belief systems, our own expectations of what we think we need to do in the lesson and what other teachers are doing in the lesson. But that's again why you got to stay focused and concentrated on who you are as a teacher. Stop putting effort and energy into what all the other teachers are doing, and take that time and focus on you and how you can improve your listening skills. Because you don't always want to read and repeat and speak for the student. Sometimes you've got to give the student a few extra seconds of wait time. If I would just ask a question to a student and wait 1 or 2 seconds and they don't answer, and then I try to fill it in for them, yes, they are getting the audio reception, but at the same time, they're not really building their speaking skills, their comprehension skills, because you have got to wait for that student. For example, sometimes in my lessons, I might wait 3 or even 4 seconds. Many times sometimes the parent will interrupt and then just speak for the student, and then the student will just simply repeat what the parent has said to them. Again, this is great for repetition practice, and yes, they are speaking more words in the lesson, but are they really understanding what they're saying? And that's why it's so important for you as a teacher to understand what the student knows, what the student is capable of. And that only comes through patient listening. Sometimes when there's no parent there, and I might wait 5 seconds, but then student answers in a complete sentence and does a great job. But if I would have waited just 2 seconds or 3 seconds, rushing the process, then I wouldn't have firsthand seen what that student is able to do on their own, independently. That's very important, because when you listen attentively, you will also become more aware of their independent English speaking skills and the ability to answer questions in a complete sentence. Now, wait a second. Sometimes, yes, you may have to encourage them and give them a little start. Maybe give them the first word or the first 2 words of the answer to the question. And there's nothing wrong with that. What I'm saying is, generally speaking, you don't want to go 25 minutes, ask them a question, wait a few seconds, they don't answer, and then you're just interjecting for them the whole entire lesson. Again, that's great in their speaking, but are they understanding it? Are they truly comprehending what you're asking them? And the only way to do that is by being a patient and attentive listener as an OET. So let's go. Number 4, the 4th secret is, if you want to unlock your magic, if you want to unlock the true potential that you have as an OET, online English teacher, then you must be into constant Q&A. Constant Q&A. Asking the student constant questions throughout the lesson. It is essential. As soon as I start my lesson, immediately, if it's a regular student, hey, how was your day? Did you go to school? What classes did you have at your school today? What was your favorite class at school today? What did you do in the English class? What is your English homework? I ask these questions over and over and over every single time when I'm having, even if it's a new student, or even if it's my regular student, because they've got to work on their past tense. I went to school. I had 6 classes. Yes, I have present. I have English homework today. And then that's a great opportunity for you to see, okay, what is the English teacher at their school teaching them? What is their workbook homework today? And not only is that going to build awareness for you about what your student is doing at their English school, at their Chinese school from their English teacher, but also it's going to help you to build a better relationship with that student, because when the student can start to answer in complete sentences from these basic questions, their fluency will build, their comprehension skills will build, and their parent is going to see that you're going through the daily habits, you're going through the daily activities with that student. And again, that is going to formulate your teaching style. So once you ask them all these questions in the beginning of the lesson, and then you show them a cool picture, you could pull 3 questions from the picture of a zebra. What colors are the zebra? Do you like the zebra? Is the zebra fast? Can it run fast? I just gave you like 8 or 9 questions that you could ask the student. And that's more than 5 minutes of lesson time right there. And if they have a problem or they have some difficulty with answering some of those basic, easy questions, then you go to the whiteboard. Don't spend all day on the whiteboard, okay? Don't spend all day on the whiteboard. But when you start to use the whiteboard, English class, English homework, what is your English homework? Did you go to school? And then if they say, oh, I go to school today, teacher, 75% of the students are probably going to say that. Even one of my regular students, he still forgets to answer in past tense. I went to school today, teacher. And I'll go, you go to school today? What? And he said, oh, I went to school today, teacher. I'm so sorry. And it's like, it's okay. Don't worry. I'm here to help you. So you've got to get into a rhythm, and you've got to get into a very established habit of Q&A all throughout the lesson. Because if you want to have better conversations with your students, they've got to become adapted to how you ask the question. Make sure you articulate the syllables and you adjust according to their level and their age. Okay? So those are the first 4 secrets that you need to know as an OET if you're looking to have more financial income every month when you get that paycheck and you're like, wow, now I can go travel to a new country, or wow, now I can finally invest into this thing that I've been waiting to invest in, or I can save money or pay off debt, or just go to the beach and have a great time. Number 5, what is the 5th secret, Camden? What is the 5th secret that every OET teacher needs to know right now, today? That's right out here on the rice farm. Number 5 is, write this down. Photo library is your best friend. Photo library is your best friend and greatest asset as an OET teacher in terms of tools that you can use to enhance your lesson. Google Images. When I was doing the TEFL consultation with this great teacher out there in Guatemala from the UK, Yesterday, I had to break it down to him. I said, look, whether you got a new student or a semi-regular student, if you have, for example, a lot of students from Beijing, a lot of students from Shanghai, a lot of students from Guangdong, which is in the south of China, close to Guangzhou. I have a lot of students from Liaoning. I have a lot of students from all over China, Xinjiang, so many places, Suzhou, Jinan, Heilongjiang. And if you don't know those places that I'm speaking of, you've got to pause this video and start studying the geography of China, because it's going to be a huge asset to you in order for you to build up more classes and make more money as an OET teacher. Now, what do I have to do, Camden? Do I just show them a picture of a cartoon? Do I show them a picture of a tiger? Well, this is completely up to you, number one. Number two is, for example, let's say you have a brand new student and their level of English is pretty good. They're 8 years old and they can answer some basic questions. So they're meeting you for the first time. Now, if the mom or dad is in the same room as them, this is a great opportunity, so listen up. When you ask them, hey, where are you from? Most likely, whoa, I don't know what the heck that is. Most likely, they're going to be able to say, I'm from China. And I'll say, okay, that's great. I know you're from China, but where in China? And then I'll just go to my photo library. I'm not operating the app in the background, so you don't have to worry about that. And then, boom, I show them a beautiful map, provincial map. Look that up on Google, China provincial map. And you'll get a color-coded map of all the different provinces in China. Now, when you show them that, it's going to be very familiar to them. And make sure that it's in English. And you could say, oh, here's Beijing, here's Shanghai. Where are you from? Circle, please. Now, 9 times out of 10, every student that I've asked that, whether it's new or regular, have been able to explain. Even 6 years old, they're able to do it. And usually, for some reason, if they can't, the mom or dad's going to say, hey, where are you? You know, they're going to give a little support to the student, and then they can circle, or they can at least tell you where they're from. Then what you do is, if they're from Beijing, you already, in your photo library, by following my advice in this video, you go to Google and you type in best Beijing food or best Beijing street food. And then you have 3 or 5 images ready to go in your photo library. So you say, okay, great. So for me, I would say, I've been to Beijing. I could show them a picture when I went to Beijing, whether it was at the museum or at the restaurant or visiting my Chinese friends. And that's just going to work out to even more to your advantage and to your benefit. But, you know, not everybody has been to China yet. But if you do go to China and you start taking pictures in China and you start to use that in your lesson as a way to boost who you are, to put your name on the map, put your face on the map for all these students out there, they're going to look at you through a different lens. And we'll get to that later. But I want to make sure you get this fully understood. Maybe I'll go even more in depth in a future video about this, but show them the provincial map of China, get them to circle where they're from. And then you can start to take your own, you know, like your own survey. Where are the majority of the students that I'm teaching, where are they from? And then you start to learn more about their food. You start to learn more about the climate. You start to learn more about maybe some famous museums or sightseeing activities, maybe even the beautiful landscapes. A lot of beautiful landscapes in China, and the kids love it, and the parents really appreciate it. So if I show them a picture of some street food in Beijing, and they're like, oh yeah, I know, they're most likely going to know it, okay? 99.9% of the time. And then, do you like it? Then boom, you can ask 3 questions just from one food picture from their home city. Why is that so important? That builds comfort, that builds trust, that builds relaxation, and it also shows the student and the parent that you are capable of understanding and learning about new cultures, specifically their culture. Just think about it this way. Let's say you're learning Arabic or Russian, okay? And the first day of class, you speak 0 Arabic. But if that teacher shows you a map, let's just say, for example, of the USA and all 50 states, and then they say, and you know, where are you from? Where are you from? And I'll get to that in a future video about if you ask them in Chinese. That's a different video. But if that teacher says, where are you from? And then you circle Virginia or California or Florida or New York or Texas, you're gonna be like, oh wow, the teacher knows about the USA. And then you can say, oh, you're from Virginia? Oh, okay. And say, yeah, I'm from Virginia. And then you don't know what else to say, but then the teacher immediately, no delay, immediately throws in the picture of a famous food from your home state. Then you're gonna be like, oh yeah, I know that food, wow. And if the teacher then asks you, do you like it? Yes, I do like it. So again, it's about building a way to relate to your students to make them feel at ease. Make them feel at ease so that way they can kind of just take the pressure off them a little bit, and it's gonna make the world of a difference. For me, the photo library is what I do in every single lesson to enhance the quality of the lesson, to enhance the slides, and to make the lesson just more plain fun. The parents love the pictures that I show their child. It's a great conversation booster, and I could just make a whole video about that. But we got to keep going, okay? People don't have a lot of time these days, except for the true TEFL teachers out there who are listening to these videos and really going deep and listening to this advice, because these videos are changing lives one video, one day at a time. And thank you all for checking this out. Number 6. The 6th secret is, there's only 2 more, so stay tuned. Have Chinese friendly foods. You know, as I've mentioned in your photo library, activities, even vocabulary phrases. In my description, there's links so that you can start to practice your Chinese. You don't need to use Chinese in the lesson, but if you have a brand new student and you say, 喜欢吗? 你喜欢吗? And they'll be like, oh yeah, 是的, 是的, 是的. Like, yeah, I like it, you know? Then that's another way that you can tap in to your true magic as an OET or just as a TEFL teacher. So Chinese calligraphy, I'm gonna go down and grab this real quick to show you guys. Yesterday in my lesson, let me show you guys what's going on. So it was one of my regular students, but I showed him, I said, because they went to a Chinese writing class, and you've got to understand the significance of Chinese calligraphy, the importance of Chinese calligraphy in the Chinese culture. It's super important. A lot of parents pay a lot of money for their kids to go to Chinese writing classes. Now this was a gift given to me from a student in Beijing. And it's got beautiful calligraphy all over it, and even right here on the side, vertical. And just imagine this. When I show my student this and the parent sees this, again, they are looking at you from a completely new perspective. They see that you're interested in the culture. They see that you understand the writing, the calligraphy in China. So when you show them things, that's why if you start to practice your Chinese writing, like my name is Camden or whatever your name is, I'm just using, you know, for myself as an example. And if I write that my name is in Chinese, in the Chinese characters, my name is Camden. So with a new student, that's a great icebreaker right there. Not only do they know your name, not only can they repeat your name, but they're going to understand it in their native language. Think about it from their perspective. Put yourself in the students and put yourself in the parents' shoes, and things will change up here for you. And when things change up here, you're going to change your behavior, your attitude, your energy, as I've mentioned, and things are going to get better and better and better. But hold on. The next thing is, I showed one of my regular students this last night. I haven't showed them this in a long time, but after the TEFL consultation, I was gonna put my money where my mouth is again, and the student was like, wow. Oh. And then the little girl got her brother to come in the lesson, and they were just like blown away that a foreigner can actually write Chinese and actually show them in the lesson. It's a whole different level that you're gonna be on once you do these things and practice and implement these secrets that I'm sharing with you. So, next thing I want you to remember is number 7. The 7th and the final secret is showing only pictures of your favorite hobbies and passions. Children are very much in tune with the good energies, okay? And because of that, they will feel your enthusiasm when you're showing them a picture. They will feel your energy by the way and how you're talking about an event in your life. I have some childhood photos when I used to visit my grandparents. Family is everything in the Chinese culture. So when I show them a picture with my grandfather, my grandmother, or my dog when I was a kid, or when I was swimming as a kid, again, it puts you on a whole new level. There's so many things that can, conversation-wise, can be started from you showing pictures like that, just like I mentioned. I do this all the time in my lessons, and it works amazingly well. And sometimes parents will personally request a class with me, yes, to do the lesson, but they want free talk. They want conversation extended outside of the lesson. So a lot of parents come to me because of word of mouth, through other parents recommending the way that I teach. So remember this. Remember this. If you've been waiting to hear this, this right here is going to just take you into a different world for your online English teaching abilities. This is why I speak a lot about knowing yourself. Know thyself through and through. There's no faking it till you're making it around here. Is that right? Anybody out here? There's no faking it until you're making it. So get that philosophy, erase it, and reprogram your mind today. So teachers, here we go. In conclusion, remember to have some fun. I'm telling you all these things, but just overall, remember to have fun with your student in the lesson. You only have 25 to 30 minutes, so make each minute count, make it fun, and have a great time each time in the lesson. So stay on target. I remember, you gotta stay focused and loosen up. You gotta stop taking yourself so seriously. That's something really important. Stop taking yourself so seriously and just loosen up. Just like in Star Wars, A New Hope, and they're in the X-Wing, and the TIE fighters are coming behind them in the Death Star battle in the episode 4, A New Hope, and the guy's like, the leader in the front's like, stay on target, I can't hold them, stay on target, loosen up, and then and bam, in the smithereens. So knowing the student is the name of the game. You've got to know who the student is, and that's why, again, if you're implementing all of these strategies that I'm talking about, these secrets, you're going to start to develop a better and more personal and intimate relationship with your student. That's why I've got some students who have over 100 hours studied with me, and even more. You can go to my profile and look at the list of my students and how many hours, all the double digits and triple digits of classroom time with me. And if that's your goal, then I recommend that you start to get busy right now. So adjust yourself depending on the level, and the age, and the specific interest of your student. And show and tell. As I've mentioned, I have a lot of great things in my room. You can call them props, you can call them whatever you want. I just say show and tell. Focus on pronunciation at times to reveal you really care about the student, which makes the parents feel more trustworthy towards you and ready to book more lessons with your unique and special teaching skills and talents. And don't forget, it's all about your authentic pedagogical skills and pedagogical abilities. Now, Camden, what is pedagogy? Pedagogy is the method, write this down, method and practice of teaching. And it comes from the Greek paidos, which means child, and agogos or agogos, which means leader. So pedagogy in the ancient times meant child leader, because in the ancient times, they were teaching the children based upon their own set of strengths, their own set of innate talents and abilities to become better leaders. But nowadays, in the modern education system, the system is set up to treat everyone as an equal, and that every student is this mathematician or this major. It's like, that's something that I could go on a lot about, but I'm not in this video. But I want you to remember that pedagogy, what is your method of teaching? Okay, so everybody out there, I want to say thank you for joining me in this video. And just remember this: breathe before you go into the class. Take a nice deep breath, focus, concentrate, relax, and just have some fun. Like it's you and your student relaxing, sitting in the living room together, learning English as a second language. And if you apply these steps and strategies, then I know you will start to build up more regular students and also enjoy the joy of online English teaching a whole lot more. This is Camden Long signing off right now from Thailand, wishing everybody a healthy, happy, and wealthy day filled with unforgettable memories and experiences as a TEFL teacher. If you have any questions, please make sure to ask me in the comment section. I will be glad to get back to you. I love the questions and I love seeing all the comments and the feedback from all the videos. So thank you so much if you've taken the time to leave a comment or taken the time to ask a question. And for everyone who's been signing up for my TEFL consultations on video, thank you so much. We're having a great time, and I can't wait to see your results in a week from now, 2 weeks from now, 1 month from now. So make sure you stay in contact. And if you aren't where you want to be as a TEFL teacher, whether you're just getting started or you're already online English teaching, let me know, and I'll be glad to do a consultation with you so you can get some one-on-one with me, Camden Long. And don't forget, you can pre-order your ebook, The Blueprint for TEFL Freedom. I'm dropping it on my 33rd, that's right, 3-3, my 33rd birthday, November 15th, 2019, this year. So stay tuned, have a great day, and don't forget, stay balanced, spend some time in nature, and watch your reality change. Be the architect of your reality. Have a great day.